What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the Chinese emperor that had the biggest harem in history. So this is Tang Dynasty's emperor Tang Xuanzong. It is reported that he had a harem of upwards of 40,000 virgins. 40,000 virgins. So if you're wondering why this emperor he needed so many concubines, well, you see, back in ancient China, it is believed that if a man has a lot of sex with a lot of different women, that is a sign of virility. And the more female sexual partners he has, the longer that he will be able to live. So back then, it was quite normal back in the royal palace for all of these powerful officials, for the emperor and his sons to have these massive, insane all-night orgies. So typically, an orgy requires a minimum of 6 people. Basically, you start with masturbation, then you have a one-on-one, then you have a threesome, then you got two couples swinging. Sometimes you have two couples swinging with a background extra, and for orgy you got six. And some of these virgins, they get summoned into the royal palace at an extremely young age. Sometimes they could be 12 or 13 years old. And obviously, every single woman has to pass through a security checkpoint. Typically, there will be some kind of a nanny. They will take them into a dark room and she will examine her hymen to make sure everything is still intact, to make sure that she hasn't yet to be penetrated. And on top of this, all of these women that enters the royal palace, they all need to go through a vigorous training, such as playing sports, learning how to play chess, taking pottery classes, dancing classes, learning how to cook, learning about horse riding. I'm sure you guys get the idea. And when everything is complete, all of their skills, all of their attributes, they're written down into a book. Then a painter comes along and paints a picture of them. So every single concubine, everything, all of their statistics and their picture is included in this massive book. It's more like an ancient encyclopedia. And every evening, the head eunuch, the one that serves the emperor, he presents this book to the emperor for him to scroll through. In this book, he can pick out any woman that he likes. Sometimes he can pick out multiple women in one night. And when the concubine is chosen, these eunuchs will be given the order. They will travel to the palace of the chosen concubine with a red palanquin, where she will enter and she will be escorted to the emperor's palace. And before having sex with the emperor, she's expected to bathe herself thoroughly with flowers and essential oil. And it is also a taboo for the emperor to be waiting for her. So she must prepare herself by the bedside of the emperor. So she has to get in position to get on her knees to be ready for the emperor to arrive into the bedroom. And the emperor has to lay on the bed first, then she will climb onto his body. And in the cases, if this is the concubine's first time having sex with the emperor, if she's a virgin, the nannies and the eunuchs, they will bring along something that's similar to a red handkerchief or a piece of a red cloth. They will place it on top of the bed sheet. So back in ancient China, they believe that even though if it's a virgin girl that's having sex for the first time, if her hymen is being penetrated for the first time, she is expected to bleed a lot. So after the emperor is done with his business, these servants will come into the bedroom the next morning and they will check the handkerchief or the cloth for signs of blood. This is to make sure that the penetration has taken place. So ladies, just remember, you want a guy that's a Chad, you want the Tyrones out there, you like millionaires, you like CEOs, you like social media influencers, you like lawyers, doctors, okay? Listen, ladies, all of the top tier men are like this, okay? If you want a guy that's never going to cheat on you, okay, marry a guy that makes $50,000 a year. Men and women are 100% different. Men like variety. When a man achieves a certain socio and economic status, his primary goal in life is to have sex with as many women as possible, all the way until death. Just look at all the top tier guys out there, okay? Look at Andrew Tate, look at Tristan Tate, look at Justin Waller, look at Will Chamberlain, look at Jackie Chan, look at Elon Musk. Look at Michael Jordan, look at his teammate Scottie Pippen, and Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman is reported that he has a body count of over 2,000. He also has had his penis broken 3 times, which I'm not sure exactly how that's possible. Now let's come back to Emperor Tang Xuanzong. Unfortunately, even the harem of 40,000 virgins was not enough for this emperor. So what ended up happening was that he actually fell in love with his son's concubine. And the concubine's name is Yang Guifei. And obviously, you know what happens when you have a harem of 40,000 women. So this affair ended up completely blowing up. Next thing you know, this story had spread to every single corner of Tang Dynasty China. And many peasants were extremely pissed off about it, because they thought, the emperor has lost the mandate of heaven. So a civil war would break out, led by this man named An Lushan. He started the An Lushan rebellion as a direct result of Emperor Tang Xuanzong's incompetence and his affairs with his son's concubine. This An Lushan rebellion and civil war would cause the deaths of 36 million Chinese civilians. And I want you guys to remember something. China's population did not reach 50 million for the first time at the start of the Tang Dynasty. Even during the peak of the Tang Dynasty, China's population was estimated to be no more than 80 to 100 million. This is how devastating the civil war was, and it completely weakened the Tang Dynasty, eventually leading to their downfall. You know, it's so easy to just focus on this one guy, the one king at the top, who has all the wealth and all the power, and he's having sex with all of these beautiful young virgins, okay? But think of it like this, okay? This is what the media never wants to tell you. They want to say that, we live in the patriarchy. Man's, out there having all of these affairs. They own all the wealth. They own all the power. For every king out there that's like this, that has 40,000 virgins, okay? That means that 39,999 men ended up dying alone. Probably half of these men, 20,000, ended up cutting their penis off and became eunuchs that served the royal family. And another 20,000 were probably drafted into war and died on the battlefield. The vast majority of men throughout history never had the privilege to reproduce. And we're seeing this trend coming back in the 21st century. Okay, the eunuchs, they're making their way back into our society. That's the whole transgender movement. Thank you guys so much for staying till the end. See you guys in the next video. Blow up, blow